All right, welcome everyone. Good evening, happy Tuesday, or happy watching the recording if that's you. So excited you decided to join us for tonight's informational Zoom on LifeWave, science and technology. But I have something special for you this evening. I'm always sharing the science and tech. I'm interviewing different doctors and practitioners, and they are sharing their experiences with the patches as well. But tonight I decided I think I want to hear from some people that have been using the technology for a while. We always, want those immediate results, right? We want things to happen right now. I need my miracle now. And even if you watched this a couple of weeks ago when I had Greg and Amy on, the husband and wife couple that each individually spoke about some short term changes they noticed from the BioWell metrics and a little bit longer term, maybe like a 2 hour, maybe a 12 hour, a couple day things like that. I thought, let's look a little bit farther out. Let's look about that 6 month time period and beyond, and what really happens with that compound effect that we talk about all the time. The longer you use the technology, the more benefits, the more results, the more things that can happen inside of your body to heal and repair. And so, before we get started, I want to share that the information that is being shared tonight is for informational purposes only. There's no indication at all to make any claims to treat, cure, prevent, or diagnose anything at all. No diseases, syndromes, anything like that. If you have questions in regards to your medical condition or medications that you're on, please consult with your doctor or healthcare practitioner. I am a doctor. I have 2 PhDs, one in integrative and one in functional medicine. I'm not a medical doctor and I'm not your doctor. So the information tonight is for informational purposes. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get us started because I know these two people have fantastic information they want to share. And I've got a before and after picture here that you're going to be pretty excited to see that I'll share here in just a little bit. So Tracy, thank you for being here. Let me ask you to unmute. Get you unmuted. There you go. Thank you for being here this evening, taking time to be here. Talk to us a little bit about what was going on with you before LifeWave. And of course, we want to know who introduced you to LifeWave, how you found out about it, why you decided to say yes to trying this technology, and then take us up to speed with what's happened since. And then, of course, I'll get your before and after pictures up there for everybody.
Oh, yes, we want to do that. Well, yes, thank you. So my name is Tracy, and I just want to give you a little bit of history and how I got here. I had my first, well, I'm 63 years old. I had my first heart attack the week of my 50th birthday. I have had two since that time. So I've been blessed to be under doctor's care for many years, along with the range of several hosts of medicines that come along with that. Then I have also suffered my entire adult life with a sleeping disorder, compacted with restless leg syndrome. Um, so with the medicines that they give you when you're a heart patient, the statin drugs have really done a whammy on me as far as with the restless leg syndrome. That turned into a good repertoire of nightly muscle cramps, aches and pains in my joints. And along with that, you get a good sleeping disorder on top of having all of these cramps. And then I'm in a very mode of depression. I cannot function during the day. I'm chronic fatigue constantly. Um, then there's no appetite. You get so depressed, you don't want to eat. Nothing sounds good. It's just no appetite at all. I'm losing weight. So I just like to share with you something. I'm going to be real here. So with everything I have told you, I don't know how many people out there listening tonight might be able to relate to this, but it all started with the heart attack at age 50. So the doctors then decide that you need to be on blood pressure medicines and you need to be on statin drugs. And I have muscle cramp medicines. Would you like for me to name a few here? Somebody might know propinerol. They might know, alprazolam for anxiety. How about for those pains, Tracy? Let's give you some hydrocodone. Gosh, how about some more lisinopril for the breakthrough blood pressure? I mean, I could just Novatolol. Oh, I don't get along with the medicines. They make me not feel good. So let's take some ondansetron because that helps you not feel so nauseous. I mean, it's been a cycle for me for years, and I didn't know how to get off of it. I really didn't. Oh, and here's sleeping medicine too. And I've been through several of these because I also started sleepwalking because of these silly medicines. I've just been in a loop for so many years. And finally, through all of this, a good friend said, I have something I want you to try. And after trying all of these things, I decided, what the heck? Bring it on. Let me see what you got. So I started with X39 patches. These, I was introduced to these September 7th of last year. And, I've used a lot of things and a lot of supplements over the years. So I thought, well, okay, I'll give it a try. I really didn't research. I didn't do anything. I just trusted a friend to refer me to this. So I started patching in September. And I went along and I would get a phone call. Are you using your patches? Oh, yeah, I'm using them. Okay, well, and I said, yeah, I don't really notice a lot of changes, but we'll keep using those patches. Yes, I will. So I had the instruction to put a little patch back here on the back of my neck and or below my belly button. And to drink water, which that's a key factor too, everybody. Drink your water. So I started using these patches, and I want to tell you, I really wasn't thinking a whole lot about it, but I kept doing it. And I want to say about day 45, okay, I woke up that day and I actually felt like doing something that day. And it's like, I think I feel better. I think I slept last night. I didn't get up 5 or 6 times last night. I actually slept. In fact, I think I had a dream last night. And so I just kind of started into my day. Now, I don't want to tell you this whole one day 45 was all of that, but throughout the next week, and then maybe a few more days, I started noticing, oh, I'm starting to eat a little more. I would walk into the produce department at the store and go, you know what? That looks pretty good. I think I'll get that. I started cooking. I had lost all, whatever meals were just, let's get some food on the table. I enjoyed cooking again. Anyway, these subtle changes kept happening for me. And I just want to say to everybody, all of this stuff has been put away in a bag right here. They're in Ziplocs. All of these things. I am sleeping so good. I have these wonderful, beautiful dreams at night. I get up. Now, this is somebody who 9 o'clock in the morning was unheard of. 10 o'clock, more like 11 is where my days start. I get up at 4 and 5 in the morning now. And I don't have that, oh, good grief, it's daylight when that happens. I get up looking forward to my day. I really do. I am so energetic. My friends know that Tracy wouldn't make plans to go on vacations or even out to dinner because I feared I'm not going to feel like it. I'm just not going to, I'll just tell them, no, I'm busy. I can't go. The reality was I just had no luster for life anymore. I had no spark in me, and I do now. And it is the most wonderful feeling. It really is. I have been doing patches now 6 months. As I said, I started September the 7th. And I tell you what, this has been a lifesaver for me. It has changed. My friends know, my family knows. I raise my grandkids. They get home off the bus now. Grandma's not on the couch. Grandma's up. Let's do something. Let's go outside. Let's sign up for guitar lessons. I seriously, my whole life has changed. So I have to thank Tina Durr. She introduced me to these and she kept with me. And God bless her for doing that, because I am so glad to be out of this terrible rotation of pill sorters. Oh, that's the other thing. Hauling your pill sorters around, people. Ugh. I'm so done with that. And I love life. I absolutely do. My skin, oh my goodness, my skin is so radiant now. My wrinkles are starting to disappear. I have hair, my hair was so thin. Oh my goodness. I was trying all these little hairstyles and gunk to try to boost my hair. I have hair again. I just, I don't know. There's so many benefits. I think I've probably, oh, and there's one more thing. Okay. I've worn glasses my whole adult life. And I want to say I have been lately, well, I got out of the house the other day, went clear to my dad's house, and I thought, oh, I left my glasses at home. And I was reading something off of his phone when it occurred to me I didn't have my glasses on. So I have been wearing these less. I I have noticed first thing in the morning, if I just don't get up and put them on anymore, I can go a long time throughout the day and I can drive without them. So anyway, my eyesight's improving. So I just have so many improvements. I really do. And it's just been a blessing for me.
Well,
So
that's
I'm
wonderful. Let's see your pictures. Let's let everybody
okay.
see this picture here. Get that thing to open up. There we go. Whoop, not that one. Wrong picture. This one. Here we go. So this is you before, Tracy. This is before patches.
Yes, that's September the 7th of last year.
This
Yes.
is now. And
Yes, it is.
that doesn't look like the same woman.
Thank goodness.
I mean, you look like you have filled out a little that you needed. Like you said, you actually feel like eating, right? Having some food. I mean, your color is completely different. The much less, like you said, on the wrinkles and the lines, your skin looks just amazing. And even your eyes were more sunken. And I know it's different, daytime outside picture versus not with glasses on, but your eyes are your eyes, and yours are so much more open now.
Yes.
And
Oh,
your hair,
yes.
like you said with your hair, look at the difference in the hair. Even though your hair is back some, you can tell this is a much smaller, thinner head of hair. So,
Yeah.
what this shows me is change, a lot of change has happened on the inside from coming off of all of those medications. I saw at least 3 gallon Ziploc bags you had there.
Oh,
At
yes.
least, yeah, coming off of those and helping your body to activate those cells with the X39 that are responsible for repair and regeneration. Lots of change has taken place.
Yes, it has. If I might just add, so I started with the X39. I added the Eon. I do strongly recommend those. So my everyday go-to is my X39 and my Eon. And then I do like the sleep patch. I do like Silent Night. I put it right here. And I have, because of my heart problems, I have introduced along the way the carnosine. And because of all of the pills for so many years, I learned about glutathione. So, I've learned, but you got to start somewhere. And I am so glad I did. So I just thought I would kind of tell you
Thank you
a
for
little
sharing
bit about
that.
that too, because the support patches can be important when
Oh,
you
yeah.
have certain things you're trying to isolate. But golly, if you do nothing else, just please be consistent and don't give up, because you know, you hear stories of, a weekend or something, but golly, mine wasn't like that. And I am so thankful I stuck with it. I really am. So thank you for the opportunity for me to share with you
Are
my
welcome.
story.
Thank you for taking time to be here and sharing it with everyone. I know it's going to be very inspirational for so many people, especially those that are on medications wanting to eliminate those or reduce the amount. So thank you, Tracy, for being here. We appreciate you.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Staci.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So Mel, I'm going to turn it over to you here for a little bit. Tell us a
Okay.
little bit about what was going on with you before you found out about the patches. Then take us up to speed with how you found out about them and what's happened. How long have you been patching now, and what's happened since you started patching?
Okay, a little bit of history. I've had a number of injuries. Both of my knees have been damaged. One of them I dislocated in a ski accident. I fell and injured my right shoulder. I'm in the Arizona Ballroom Teachers Academy learning to teach others to ballroom dance. And I would have to take 2 Bayer 500 milligram back and body an hour and a half before each lesson to make it all the way through the 2 hour lesson without the pain stopping me. um, I've had some other issues. I've been wearing bifocals for almost 40 years. Couldn't see a thing without them. Well, I could see, but I couldn't read anything. It was uh, glasses on anytime I'm awake. My sister had macular degeneration, and she's been blind in her left eye for about years. She also had shingles, which left her with a residual pain from the center of her chest all the way around towards her back. And I just never went away. She tried topicals and pills, everything else. Anyway, back in September, about mid-September, this friend introduced me to the patches. And I hate to say this now, but I actually laughed at her. I said, come on, you're telling me that little round thing, you stick it on your skin and it fixes everything? She goes, yeah. I said, come on, it's got to be a scam. And she said, well, let me ask you something. If I give you some, would you try them? Oh, yeah, sure, I'll try them. So I did. I tried them for a week. I gave them back to her, said, these things don't work. 2 weeks later, I went in for my eye exam, and I was diagnosed with early stages of macular degeneration and cataracts. You know what? You want a wake-up call? Boy, that's one. So I went back to her and I said, Wendy, listen, those patches you were telling me about, you think they could help with macular degeneration, cataracts? She goes, absolutely. She was so convinced herself that it rubbed off on me a bit. And I said, I'll tell you what, I'm going to try these for 90 days. And if I see any improvement at all, I'm in for the long haul. So I went hog wild. I ordered everything. So I ordered the $500 package, and then the next order I put in, I upgraded to the $1,700 one, and I had these things sticking all over me. Now I told her I'd give it 90 days. Well, about 3 or 4 weeks later, I went in, got up in the middle of the night to go use the restroom, and left my glasses on the nightstand. And while I was there, I just happened to look at my watch, and you kind of do that automatically, and I could never see anything. There was a blank screen, and I could read the numbers. I thought, whoa, this is amazing. 2 days later, I went to take a bath. I was at my sister's in Florida at the time, and she had cleaned the bathroom the day before. I thought, uh-oh, she may have switched my shampoo and conditioner because they're in the same looking container. And without even thinking, I just reached over and grabbed one and looked at it, and I could read. I would always keep my glasses on the toilet seat next to the bathtub, because if I had to see anything, I had to put my glasses on. Well, I reached over and I picked that up and looked at it, and I could read it, shampoo. I thought, this is amazing. Never been able to do that before. A few days later, I got up, put my glasses on, got in the car, started driving down the road, and I'm thinking, wow, my glasses must be really dirty because everything looks crazy. So I took my glasses off, and everything was as clear as a bell. I couldn't believe it. I got so excited, I had to send Tina a video telling her how excited I could read all the signs along the side of the road. I could read the street signs. I could read the license plate in front of me. And now that was mid-November. And I was in Florida where my sister is. And so I went over and talked to her and told her what I'd experienced. And I said, I would like to introduce you to these patches. And she said, okay, I'd be glad to give them a try. Within a month, she could start to see shapes in that blind eye. I had a lot of other issues with pain. I have to wear hearing aids. And my sense of smell is, shall we say that I can be standing in the middle of some things that really stink and I can't smell them. Anyway, the next thing that happened was I began to no longer have the pain issues. My right shoulder was so bad that I couldn't reach over across to get my seatbelt in the car. I couldn't turn my steering wheel to the left or turn it all the way around because of the pain in my shoulder. And of course, like I said, I had plantar fasciitis in both feet. I had both knees had been injured, and I was taking those pain pills. I haven't had to take a pain pill in over 2 months. I dance 5 nights a week. I have a 2-hour class on Monday, 2-hour class on Thursday, 3-hour class on Saturday for the academy, and then I'm there several other nights of the week helping with the dancing. And I'm just about ready to be a teacher. In fact, I am doing some teaching. So I've seen all these things happen to me, and then I've seen it happen to others that are sponsored, and it's just incredible. It's just, to me, it's so amazing that something like this could do so much for you. And I recommend it to anybody. I can't talk to somebody without telling them about the patches. I meet them at the grocery store, set up a conversation, and I show them the Eon behind my ear. And they, what's that for? You trying to quit smoking? I said, no, this is the most incredible thing you've ever seen. It's the latest technological development in stem cell regeneration through LifeWave therapy. I get their phone number and I text them the videos explaining it. And then a few days later, I'll call and follow up with them. But it's just been an incredible journey. I haven't even been on them 6 months yet. And it's just been amazing to me to see how much benefit you can get from these. Also, by the way, I am a poet. I am a songwriter, singer. I play guitar and piano. I've written quite a few songs, but I wrote a poem after a month or two no, it's probably longer, they're about 3 months in. Tina asked me if I could write a poem about LifeWave. I said, yes, I certainly can. So that night I wrote the poem. I texted it to her the next day, and she asked me if I'd be willing to read it, because I don't memorize my own poetry unless I make a song out of it. So here's my poem. It's called LifeWave X39. Oh, and by the way, it's an acrostic. If there's anyone there that doesn't know what that means, you spell a word or a name down vertically, and then you let the first letter, first letter of each line begin with the letter of that name. So it spells, if you see it and you read down, it spells life with the letters that begin each line. And it goes like this. LifeWave X39, the greatest thing that's come my way. I can see the difference I'm improving every day. First, it helped my memory and memory. Eyes that see much better now and no longer itch and burn. Who wouldn't want to try these patches and all the things you do? Very soon you'll see a company of these things. And about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I come walking into my house, and I thought my tenant had come in and spilled something. I'm smelling 3 or 4 different things I couldn't quite identify. And then I walked into my office, and I have an oil lamp on my computer desk in case the power goes out. I could smell the oil, and I thought it cracked or something was leaking. So I went over and checked it, and everything was dry around it. And that's when it dawned on me. My sense of smell has gone up so incredibly that I smell all kinds of things now before people even know there's something going on. And so it's just,
You're kind of cutting out a little, Mel. We can't hear you. Maybe is your phone moving? Can you hear us?
right in front of me. Can you hear me okay now?
Yep, there you
Hello?
go. Yeah, we couldn't
Okay, all right.
we couldn't hear your poem. I think with your phone moving, we couldn't hear your poem.
Uh-oh.
We heard you talk about your
Oh,
skill
okay.
improving, but the poem part we couldn't hear all of the lines. Can you read it one more time?
Okay, we could try it one more time. Yeah, I'll lean it over to get the light on it. LifeWave X39, the greatest thing that's come my way. I can see the difference I'm improving every day. First, it helped my mental clarity and memory to return. Eyes that see much better now and no longer itch and burn. Who wouldn't want to try these patches? I know they'll work for you and have good lifelong health and all the things you do. Very soon you'll see all the benefits it brings. Even things you don't expect accompany these things. And the smell, increase in my smell, was one thing I certainly did not expect. It's just incredible. So I keep these right near my bed. And if I can get this up here where you can see it, LifeWave was kind enough to send some of my patches in this nice box. I put a patch on it to remind me what's in it. And I open it up, And I have X39,
Mhm.
X49,
Yeah.
Aeon,
Mhm.
Energy Enhancer, Carnosine, and this says Carnosine on it. But what I did, I had a customer, well, not a customer, but a prospect needed some ice waves. So I split the package and put my half in this envelope. I mean, but I usually wear that right here where people can see it because that way they'll go, "What's that thing on your neck?" And it gives me an opening.
I love that. I love that. I love that. You're like, I go out everywhere and people just ask me questions, or I talk to them out wherever I go and I get their number and share information. Wow.
You
Thank
got
you,
it. And
Mel.
before I started using the glutathione, I have the Eon behind my ear. And I was at the dance studio one night during the dance party, and this lady actually come running up behind me. What's that? What's that behind your ear? What's that behind your ear? And she's a massage therapist, and she told me, she said, when I told her what it was, she said, a lot of my clients have been talking to me about it. I said, you know what? You ought to get on them. So I don't know what she's done with it, but anyway, so that's about it.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Mel, for sharing your personal experience and your journey and all the improvements that have happened along the way using the patches. So we're very, very happy for you and excited for your continued success as well. All right. I think
Thank
there you go. Okay, I heard you. I think his phone may have been off again. So we have just a couple minutes left, and in that time, I want to share with you how Tracy and Mel have experienced very different results, very different things that happen for them, but yet with the same technology. So this is what they were talking about. Yes, it looks like a little round band-aid, a little sticker, and this is a wearable light technology. And how this works is you put this on your body in the morning when you get up. That's it. You leave it on 12 hours and then you take it off and you throw it away. The things that they experienced didn't happen on day 1 or 2 or even 3, like you heard with Tracy, 45 days later. So, what's taking place inside of the body when you put this patch on? This is a non transdermal patch, which means nothing is entering the body except a wavelength of light. When we put this on our body's heat interacts with this patch, and a very specific wavelength of light is reflected into our body. That wavelength of light elevates a peptide, and those peptides then are responsible for activating and elevating those cells in your body that are responsible for repair and regeneration. Maybe with your hearing or your vision or your sense of smell, maybe reducing the pain or helping your body to function better so that you no longer need the medicines or the things that you did before. Your body starts to function at its optimal as time goes on. So we recommend you patch at least 1 decade for every month, or every 1 month for every decade you are old. So if you're in your 50s, 5 months, 60s, 6 months, 70s, 7 months, and so on. But some of us decide to keep patching beyond that because of the age reversal component. Now, you already got to see some age reversal with Tracy. That was a big difference, right? Collagen production, and the skin was changing, right? More vitality, more of a glow in her because things on the inside were repairing. And we don't have a before and after with Mel, but I'm sure he's experiencing the exact same things. And so when you use this technology consistently, like Tracy said, and make sure you stay hydrated, you'll see your results. What will they be? I don't know. It depends on what's going on inside of your body, but the body knows how to heal itself. The technology doesn't do any healing, it just activates the body's ability to do that. And consistency is the key. This is definitely something you want to stick with on a consistent daily basis. 12 hours on, and then take it off, leave it off 12 hours, and then start that patch again the next morning. So thank you all for being here this evening. I appreciate you taking the time to listen and to listen to Mel and to Tracy's personal testimonials. And I'm sure this is going to be shared with thousands and thousands of people. You had just fantastic experiences. And I look forward to seeing all of you again on a Zoom very soon. Thank you, everyone, and good night.